Hello, hello. I wanted to make another stream about actually yeah. I think I'm going to do this. I want to talk about bed bugs because it was so bad. So here, let me bed bugs. Bed bugs. First of all, if you have bed bugs, I am so flippin' sorry for you because it stinks. So I had them for a year and I realized I've never communicated how I got rid of them and the way that I approached it after a year of bed bugs. Well, first of all, we moved out of a multi unit rental, so that helped. But knowing what I knew after I figured out the system, I think it would still work. So the whole thing with bed bugs is they we're getting right into this away from capitalism and rest and neurodivergence and into bed bugs. So the whole thing is that let's say you're sleeping on your little bed. So there you are sleeping on your bed, okay? And the bed bugs come. So the first thing you want to do with your bed bugs is people are like, yo, put those little bed bug traps on there, right? No. Do not do this. Don't do that. Because they literally climb. I should move this. They climb up the walls and they legit drop on you. And I should also probably, here, let me just make this go pretty white. Okay, so they actually they'll go up, those are those little bed bugs, and they drop on you from above. I swear, these guys are evil. So that's not how we do it. That is not how we get rid of bed bugs. So let's check this. So relax, you're good, okay? I lived in plastic, right? I threw out all my stuff. It was just insane, and I shouldn't say insane. It was, let's not bash mental health issues. It was overwhelming and way too much for me to handle, and I think for anyone to handle. And it's totally not okay to have to rent and you have to rely on some person to just make your life better when they don't, right? It stinks. And I just realized my person's head is like falling back, but that's fine. Anyways, so what we do is let's look at how bed bugs actually live their life. So let's say you're in a bedroom, okay? I was in a 1-bedroom apartment with me and my partner and our child and our dog, and it was wild. So bed bugs, let's say they are in the bookshelves, okay? And they come out at night, okay? Or they come from above and drop down. They come and they take a bite and then they leave. But they only actually stay 6 feet in general away from you, okay? Unless it's like a pregnant mom bed bug, in which case it really goes far. So she goes far away, this impregnated bed bug, right? So she leaves. But what we want to deal with is the ones that are closest to you. So what I did was, and I swear this was easy but slow, is I went to all of our, the little light sockets that you have. I just got some tape and I taped over it because it was coming in through the walls, obviously. I wanted to make sure I had a good seal. So I taped over that, and I also bought some caulk. Not the other caulk. Everyone jokes about caulk. It's not that funny, but it is. So you might have to spend a little bit of money to buy one of these little caulking guns. They're not that much, and caulk's pretty cheap. So what I did was I caulked all along the edges. I essentially made like a seal, okay, of all my stuff. Now I took my belongings, everything except for my mattress, and I put them in the other room. We had a 1-bedroom apartment, so there's the door here, you can't really see it, but I took everything out and I put everything, this is my piles of junk, okay? That's piles. This is everything except my mattress in this one room, and then we all slept in the one room. And then what happened was they had nowhere to go, right? Where do you go if you're a bed bug and you only have a mattress? Well, first of all the bed bugs that lived in the junk came out, right? Because they wanted to feed. And then I had to give them a home. So what I did was when we moved, we had a ton of cardboard boxes. And cardboard is like the worst for bed bugs because they want to go inside all the little, you know how in it's like corrugated and they have all these little like secret little cracks and crevices. So I would just rip up cardboard boxes and I'd place them in the corners of my room. I'd stack them and I did this. And then every single night or every night I'd put these down, I'd go to bed, and then every morning I would pick them up and I'd put them into a bag. I'd tie a really tight knot and I'd throw it out at the dumpster in the garbage. So I got rid of some bed bugs. And I did this every single night where I was like, you know what, I'm good. And then one time per week, just in case, I got a broom, okay, and I swept, this is a broom. This is a broom. I got a broom and I would sweep we had a room, but the room had like I swept just on the edge here of the top ceiling just to make sure we got any of them once a week, not more. Don't overdo it. You're going to get exhausted, right? So here you are sleeping on your little mattress, right? You're sleeping there. But I swept this, and I also had like a closet, and it had some crevices and stuff, so I would sweep out the closet just in case. I already had cardboard that I'd put down, so again, you're putting your cardboard down all around. And then what happens is it took me 3 months, which sounds like a long time. Again, I was in a rental for a year where they treated every month and we had to leave, and then my kid was getting like allergic reactions to the poisons, and it was just so unhealthy. But once we moved and I sealed everything off in this one room, and then I put all my stuff out. I didn't have to throw out any of the stuff that we brought because they would leave all the stuff because they want to stay within 6 feet of you. And then I know there's stuff on the internet about them living like up to a year without a meal. Your goal right now is not to stop them feeding on you, though I know that's disgusting and gross, but your goal is the slow removal of the bugs. Because the whole thing too is if you're sleeping here, even if this lady with her babies gets out and lays them somewhere else, where were they going to go? They're all going to head back in here, including her. She needs to eat too. Everyone's going to head back to you, right? And if you have a big family, just shove more people on your mattress in that bed, right? Put everyone there. They're attracted to carbon dioxide. So they'll come, they feed, and then they go away and you throw them in the garbage. And after 3 months, you're in the clear. So that's what I did. Obviously, if you live in a multi-unit apartment, which we did, so we had like neighbors next door that were not taking care of their bed bugs. So I was worried they were coming in the cracks and stuff. That's why you can caulk and you can block off this. I also caulked around, your windows, how you have your cute little window stuff in your bedroom. I caulked all the edges here as well, just around the edges. So really just no cracks. So find your most crackless space, the one that has the least access, and sleep there. So that is my gift to you as someone who's survived bed bugs. I know everyone has different ways to do it, but it worked for me. It was way less stressful because I didn't have to think about it. It's just I went to bed, I knew that they were coming, I put out my cardboard, I threw my cardboard out, and then the next night I put more cardboard down, and the next morning I threw the cardboard out, and I just went like that for 3 months, and it was a lot simpler. And then once a week, I just sweep the ceilings and stuff just to make sure that I swept out the room in case there were any like lingering mini bugs or anything. So completely off topic from what I want to do with this, but that's what I got. So good luck. I'm so sorry you have bed bugs. And I hope that you have a lovely day. Yeah, well, with bed bugs.